So, Larry, we now have a result,
Sure.
a definitive result in the election. What should economists take away? What is the learning from this election for economists?
So, first lesson is a reminder of the toxicity of inflation. 3 Democratic presidents have seen their terms end early with a lurch to the right. Lyndon Johnson, Jimmy Carter, and now the Biden-Harris administration. And in all 3 cases, an important part of what propelled citizen dissatisfaction was inflation brought on by some combination of, yes, supply shocks, but also excessively expansionary policies. And so the consequence, this is something I warned about in 2021 when I wrote about how excessive inflation brought on by expansionary policies had led to the election of Richard Nixon and Ronald Reagan. And now we can add Donald Trump to that list. So there's a very powerful lesson here about the politics of inflation. There's also a cautionary tale for President Trump. Inflation's toxicity works against both parties if they're therefore, much less if they create inflation. And the Trump program as outlined by the campaign, dump on the independence of the Fed, call for a weaker dollar, have massive tax cuts that expand the government deficit, impose supply shocks by tariffs that raise the price of imported goods and everything that competes with them, risk labor shortage by deporting millions of people from our country. Cumulatively, this is a more inflationary policy by far than what President Biden talked about and did in 2021. So if implemented, it will violate the Hippocratic Oath of first do no harm and will be damaging to our national economy and I suspect very damaging to a president who authors and supports such policies. So I hope for the sake of our national economy that a Trump administration will start being quiet about the Fed and the dollar, will recognize the need to contain federal deficits, and will use the threat of tariffs and the threat of deportations as leverage to achieve important objectives like opening foreign markets, but not think of those as desirable steps once you have to take them, because I think that could be very, very costly for confidence. Inflation is corrosive with respect to trust in institutions, and that is a huge problem in today's America.